Well, traders, good afternoon and welcome to Tickblaze and the Alpha Quant Syndicate. What we're going to be looking at today is the difference between owning an algorithm and knowing how to run an algorithm. There's a lot more involved than how many of you have ever bought an algo and thought, wow, this is going to make my life easier. And it didn't really make it easier. And if anything, it might have even made it a little bit more complicated. And some of you might have thought, well, that is not kind of what I had in mind. Algorithms are great. They do a lot of wonderful things. We're going to look at what they do well, and we're going to look at how to take over from where an algo sort of leaves off. Where can we come in to take that algo and use it for its intended purpose, which is to make money, right? So that should sound good. Before we get too far, we do need to post our disclaimer. We can't guarantee results. We can't guarantee the results of the program. We can't give you guidance or advice on what to trade, where to trade, when to trade, how much. That is entirely up to you. What we can do is we can give you education and services dedicated toward that process. Please understand the risks involved with trading before you deploy any capital. If you are all good, give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat box, and we'll keep moving forward. Good to go. All right, let's get into it. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to look at why owning an algorithm, it's not enough, right? We need to know how to use those tools. We're going to look at the hidden cost of going alone in trading in general. Can be very difficult. We're going to look at the AQS framework. What is the Alpha Quant Syndicate? What are the 7 pillars of the Alpha Quant Syndicate? And then we're going to look at the operation overall, what it is, what it's designed to do, and then ultimately your next steps should you choose to get involved. And I assume at this point, by the end of the webinar, I assume you're going to want to get involved because this is most likely, if you're here, this is probably what you're looking for. And odds are you're here to check it out and see if that is the case. So let's go over it. First off, just a quick heads up on a couple housekeeping rules. So my name is Jim Simmons, head of trading here with Tickblaze. I've been a trader for a very long, well, it depends on what you consider very long, but I've been trading for 18 years. And I'm fortunate to be a successful trader, and I'm just passionate about helping other traders become successful as well. So a little bit about me, and let's get into it. So man versus machine. Where do we struggle as traders? How many of you can chime in on this and even tell me, where do traders typically struggle? It is with execution, either not taking a trade because they're too fearful to take the trade. Maybe they get into too many trades because they don't have enough fear, and they, see their account go against them and so on. But it really boils down to execution, and that execution is usually a fault of what? Emotions or fear, or it could be lack of skill, or it could be anything. But usually, it's a lack of or some kind of emotional interference, right? Entering and leaving a trade at the best time. Yeah, that is certainly a shortcoming of traders in general. And the problem with traders is that we're human beings. And that's also a good thing, though, because there are things that the traders can do that a machine not necessarily can. And so, how do we blend those two things to where it's the best of both worlds? But let's look at human execution. They hesitate before entering. They break their trade plans. Don't tell me you haven't, because I know you have. They panic during a drawdown. They miss valid opportunities. They change decisions under pressure. They let their losers run. They cut their winners short. They've all done it. When they take a loss, they revenge trade because they know they were right, and they're going to prove it because they're going to keep trading and revenge trade. This is what humans do. Machines don't do that. Machines execute exactly as they're supposed to execute, good or bad. If the algorithm is designed to do something, it's going to do that. It executes without hesitation. It follows the programmed rules. It can monitor multiple markets, can repeat the same process over and over and over without fail. It operates completely regardless of fear or greed. That is what the machine is good at. The machine is really great at execution. Now, where they really start to become powerful, and this is why traders use algos to begin with, is you can look at the charts and you can see what conditions are the most favorable for that trading strategy. Now, the strategy itself is completely automated, and that's where the advantage is. You can go in and backtest historical data very, very quickly, and there's no subjectivity in that backtesting. Versus a human, you're going to see things that aren't there. How many of you have ever seen that before? You go back, you do a backtest, you see things that might not be there, or you choose to not see things that might be there. That's just human bias, right? Excuse me one second. Okay, we're good. I just had to clear my throat and didn't want to do that in your ears. So, all right. So machines do exactly what they're told. Humans, not so much. So what is the algo dream? Every trader gets algos with an idea that I can remove myself from the equation. And that is still the goal, is to remove the trader as much as possible. Let the machine do what it's really good at and let the trader do the other stuff, right? And not only that, but what if there was an entire team to support you in that endeavor? And that's where AQS picks up. So the idea, though, is that traders want to build a portfolio of systems that perform. They want equity curves that look like this, right? Up and to the right. That is what we're looking for. We're looking for rules-based execution. Tell me what to do, where to do it, when to do it, even though I told you we technically can't tell you that, but we can give you guidance on how to create a plan to do that. Reduce screen time. Who wants to sit in front of the screen more to make less money? Anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. The idea of trading is less time, more money, not more, more time, less money. All right. That's the whole idea of getting into trading. So reduce screen time, multiple strategies working together and scaling those together. The goal here is structured and scalable machine powered performance, not machine completely machine required or completely dependent on machines, but machine powered, and that's what we're going to look at. I don't have to tell you this, you already know this, but we're going to go over it anyway. The idea of trying to do it on your own can be very, very costly. And some of you have realized this. And you're sitting here today going, if you only knew how much money I spent. I've heard that before many, many times. So, it's not about more systems. It's not about that. It's about how to use those systems together the right way. And that's where this can come in, and that's where this program is designed to do. So the real cost, though, of going alone, you've seen it. You buy algos one at a time. You chase a great back test. You say, this looks really good. These parameters perform very well over the last couple of weeks. It should perform well the next couple of weeks. You test maybe even random settings because you can't even get a good optimization or back test. Maybe that's your struggle. Maybe you run a system, you do the back test, you check it out, you run it for a couple of weeks, and it doesn't quite work the way that you thought. And so, what does a trader do? They go out and they buy the next one, and they think, okay, this is the one. This is the one that's going to turn everything around, and they keep repeating that cycle. The problem is they're spending money, they're not making money, and they're spending time. So you're not getting those things back, right? The problem is owning the system was never enough. Just because you own an algo doesn't mean that you're automatically going to print money. The settings have to be deployed in the right market conditions, and more importantly, the settings have to be designed for those market conditions. So, what's missing from an ordinary trader's scenario? Um, what's missing is being able to select systems around very clear objectives, knowing which system goes to which market and which market conditions, to use validated deployment templates. Which template are you going to run when, how, and where? Combining systems to where you can trade multiple systems for multiple different market conditions. Maybe the equities are trending, so you run your trending tools. Maybe gold's going sideways, so you use your oscillating tools and systems for that. And then maybe they switch, and you can switch those out. But being able to combine those systems into a portfolio is where everything really comes together. In doing so, you can manage that risk across the entire operation, and you can follow a defined path to your success and towards scale. The problem is not a lack of algorithms. There's plenty of algos. Most traders own a lot already. It is the lack of a complete operating framework, and that's where AQS picks up. Things like a quant assessment and strategy mapping that's based on you, not based on what algos do you own, not based on what everybody else is doing, not based on, well, just tell me which ones to run. Well, it's not necessarily that simple, because the amount of time that you put into trading might be different from the next trader. Jason might trade an hour a day, and Pete might trade 2 hours a day, and Jason might trade in the morning, and Pete might trade in the evening. It's really has to be designed around your goals and your flexibility, because yours is going to be different than somebody else. Your knowledge, your skill, your abilities, and where you are at in your trading journey is different from where everybody else is at. There's no two traders that are exactly alike. So why should you be expected to run a framework that's built around somebody else? Okay. That leads us to private algo coaching, 3 sessions that are going to take you to the next level as a trader, and help you get where you want to go, right? Going back to your specifics. Continuous quant optimization. What does that look like? We're going to dive deeper into each of these here in a moment. We'll just touch on them briefly now. Live algo trade room. Here's what we're running. Here's when we're running it. Here's where we're running it. Here's which markets to run. Here's which templates to run. Turn it on and off. That's what that looks like. All of the algos. And so, well, I don't own that algo. Well, don't worry about that, because we got you covered. Prop scaling framework. Anybody here trading prop firms? Yeah, most traders are, because there's an amazing opportunity in the prop firm world. And then the Tickblaze Academy, to go in and learn anything that you don't already know, to take that to the next level as well. So those are the 7 pillars. We're going to dive in and look at those together now. So let's look at pillar 1. Pillar 1 is quant strategy mapping, an AQS assessment. What we do here is we need to know what there is to know about you as a trader. Where are you at in your trading journey? What have you learned so far? What have you not learned so far? Whatever that case might be. But the goal of this is to give you a personalized education path to learn exactly what you need to know in order to be very successful. We can help you create that path. Personalized live trading room path. What you're running based on what the trade room is doing might be different from the next trader, and so on. To be able to map out which systems you're running, when and where and how, helping you understand your objective around building your portfolio of algorithms, and everything is designed around you. And again, this is making sure that assessment is going to help us design that path for you and with you, so that you're not just going, well, what do I do now? How many of you have ever felt like you go to try to learn something, or you just don't know what to learn, and you don't know what you don't know? You ever heard that before? And to be able to understand, here's exactly what I need to learn and when. How many of you think that would have been helpful to learn when you first started in trading, to have somebody go, here's exactly what you need to learn. Focus only on these things, and that'll help you be successful. Wouldn't that be great? Instead of learning all the other stuff that we learned that's probably not even relevant today. Um, some of our core systems, we're going to go over these as we go. One and done. The one and done system is designed to trade the opening range and specifically opening range breakouts. The problem is not all opening ranges are the same. They're very different. Some opening ranges will go and sweep both sides and then go in the complete opposite direction. Some opening ranges break out and just go for a run and they never stop. And so understanding which templates to deploy based on the conditions of that opening range is where this picks up where an algo is just going to run based on what you tell it to run. And so taking that to the next level is a huge component. Let's look at pillar 2, which is quant coaching. Quant coaching is designed to help you individually as a trader. So we have 3 sessions that are included in the quant coaching. What that looks like is the first is really understanding. We have the assessment. How do we help you determine what's really your plan? And this is where we go through that together. What is your trading strategy? What are you going to be trading? How are you going to use the algos? And so on. The next session is designed around, can you actually execute that plan? Now you might think, well, all I have to do is turn on the algos. That sounds pretty easy. Shouldn't be too hard to execute. Uh, it sounds easy. But the whole idea is, are you adhering to your trade plan? Session 1, what is your trade plan? What does that look like? What's your path? What do you need to learn? So on. Step 2 is, are you actually following your plan? Then we go to step 3. Step 3 is all about performance. How do we help you scale now what you have? We know by this point you have a plan, you can follow the plan. How do we make that plan better so that you can make more money? Okay. So these are what the coaching sessions are designed to do. Another core system, CWAP Algo. This is anchored VWAPs essentially, and trading them based on structure and based on momentum to pull back based on trending markets. Specifically, I trade with anchored VWAPs. Many of you know that about me. If you've seen me in any events, that is my go-to. I love trading anchored VWAPs. So very, very important system. Great for trending, right? So we've already looked at an opening range breakout, which is a breakout system. We've already looked at a pullback system, which is a trend following system. Pillar 3, quant team. What is a quant team and what do they do? So the quant team is the real power behind this program. Imagine never having to optimize another system again. How many of you have spent copious amounts of time trying to optimize your systems, only to end up with something that you really still weren't too happy about? Anybody? Am I the only one? Anybody ever been in that scenario? Yeah, definitely. We've all spent more time than we would like trying to optimize systems. Well, what if you never had to do that again? What if you had an entire team that was doing that for you? And instead of you spending, you have no idea how much time. Yeah, absolutely. What if you never had to do that again? An entire team that's their responsibility. They're on staff with our team, and their job is to find the best templates for each system so that you always have up-to-date templates. Not only that, they're going to help you understand which conditions to run those systems, which markets to run them on. And if that's not enough, you can come to the trade room and we're going to literally show you in real time, which is pretty amazing. So we have an entire quant team that does all of that for you. Their job is to have optimized settings ready to go for you as a trader. Updated continuously. This is not a one and done type of thing. Not to use that term in this fashion, but you get the idea. This is not a, well, we did it for you 2 months ago. What's wrong with that? No, this is every week there are new templates that are coming out ready to go so that you don't have to do that anymore. You have an entire team that does that for you. That is music to our ears. Another core system, Trend Breaker, used in really, this can be a really great system, especially coming out of support resistance on reversals or in trending conditions. You can pair this up with things like hidden divergence, and there's different things that we can do to enhance the performance even beyond what you see here. And so another one of our core systems. This leads us to the AQS live trade room. So the idea behind the live trade room, you might think, well, why not just run the algo? Why do we need a trade room for algos, right? They're just going to be running automatically. Well, it's important to be able to decipher. Remember, there's things that an algo does exceptionally well, and that is executing exactly as they're supposed to do. Um, yeah, and Sharpshooter saying by the time you get it right, it needs to be optimized again. That's exactly right. Yeah. Um, but with the live trade room, the idea here, there's two ideas. One is our team is going to help you decipher what those market conditions are so that you know which system you're running on which market and where. The live trade room instructors are going to tell you, hey, market conditions are favoring this algo at this time on this market. We're going to turn this algo to go long. And you'll actually see this on the screen in the Alpha Quant room, where the instructor has a panel that shows you which templates are deployed on which markets and in what direction. So there's no guesswork. You show up in the trade room, you look at the screen. Okay, we're long on trend breaker on ES. Great. Turn it on. And then you enter a trade. When the trade's done, you turn it off and you go to the next one. So the algos are being used in their best way that they're going to operate. We're using the best of the algo and letting the professional traders determine the rest. And these templates were also already optimized by our quant team, which is amazing. So the idea, though, the second idea behind the trade room is to come in and earn while you learn. This is the idea that you shouldn't have to wait 3 months or 6 months. You've been trading long enough. The goal is to make money. If you're going, especially if you're going to spend money, you want to make money now. You don't want to have to wait around. And we have this weird idea that you shouldn't have to. You come into the trade room, you do what we're doing, it's going to work out because our team is trading those in front of you and showing you exactly which systems we're running. At that point, it's just a matter of you following what the trading instructors are doing. So, professional implementation, we're going to show you what we're doing. You just tag along with us. So, good stuff. Another one of our algos, the Wicker algo. This uses custom bar types, and essentially we're using deep pullbacks and that sort of thing. This is kind of what this is designed to do. But the Wicker algo especially can do very, very well on trailing stops and that sort of thing. So pretty amazing. Pillar 5. Imagine now that you never had to buy another algo again. Some of you are like, if nothing else, I would buy this program for that reason. To never have to buy another algo again. Not that buying algos is bad, but you save your money, right? In the AQS program, we include every algo that has been released by Tickblaze Marketplace. Every algo. Not only that, anytime there is a new algo, we're going to give you access to it. No charge. You don't have to pay anything. We literally just give you access to the algo. So when I say you never have to buy another algo, you never have to buy another algo. There's another algo coming out in, I don't know, a week or two. So it's not like we're going to, stop developing algos. We're going to still develop algos. Our team still has plenty on their development task list. So every algo that we release, you will get access to. Pretty amazing. How many of you are excited about that? Give me a yes in the chat box if you're excited about never having to buy another algo again. Next up, we have the sweeper algo. The sweeper algo is designed to trade liquidity sweeps. And you can trade those liquidity sweeps based on structure and location. And again, our team is going to show you, hey, this level just got swept. Let's turn on the sweeper algo. You get the idea. Pillar 6. This is your business blueprint. This is your how do I get paid for my trading? Anybody here getting paid for your trading? How many of you are not yet getting paid for your trading? Put a not yet in the chat box if you're not yet getting paid for your trading. I'm just curious where everybody's at. Yeah, not yet, not yet. Okay. So we have some traders that are not getting paid yet. So this is designed to get you there. What do we need to do in terms of risk management and scaling your algos? And I've got a lot of traders saying not yet, a lot of them. So just so you know, it's not just you. There are a lot of traders chiming in on that one. So how do we get you to where you're getting paid? First of all, getting paid as a trader, there's a number of important factors that go into this, and I'm not going to go into a full-fledged coaching session here and now, but what I can tell you is that we're going to coach you toward that, because it's not just as simple as here's your plan, risk this much per trade, and okay, off you go. Technically, it is that simple, technically, but we're human, right? How many of you have deviated from your risk plan? Anybody? How many of you have deviated from your position sizing? Anybody? How many of you have traded beyond your max number of trades that you were supposed to take that day? How many of you made money in the morning and then gave it back in the afternoon because you just knew the market was crushing it for you that day? Okay, a lot of traders chiming in again saying, yep, been there, done that. We've all been there. So it's partially the system, it's partially the algo, it's partially the strategy, right time, right place, right direction. But the problem is that's not even the full picture. Even if we tell you, okay, do this, 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 and this, risk this much per trade, do all these things, and you'll be wildly successful. You know what? 99% of traders are still going to screw it up because it's not as simple as just having a plan. Now that I've sufficiently depressed you, well, let me give you what is going to help you get to that point. And that is one thing that all of us traders are missing. Can anybody tell me what it is? What is the missing link that says, I've given you everything you need to be successful as a trader and you still weren't successful? What's the missing piece? Goes along with discipline. Yes, goes along with that. And that is accountability. Because traders, how many of you are accountable to somebody as a trader? How many of you have someone that you're like, I answer to this, XYZ person, or it could be AI. Look, AI is great for a lot of things. A lot of traders don't have accountability. A lot of traders don't have that accountability. And that's the issue is there's no one in your ear chirping going, why'd you take that trade? Why'd you keep trading? Why'd you risk this much? Why did you put more size on? Why did you not deploy the algo when you were supposed to? And it's because we're still human. We could have the most bulletproof plan on the planet, and we're still going to find a way to screw it up because traders gonna trade. That's my saying. I say it all the time. Traders gonna trade. So we're going to we're going to help you design the plan around how do you get to getting paid. And it starts with understanding what that risk needs to look like. And it starts with understanding how to trade when you're in a drawdown. And it goes into, how many accounts are you going to run? And how much do you risk per trade? And all of that is very, very important. We're going to help you understand trade copying and scaling multiple accounts. We're going to help you come up with the plan that says if you do this and that and this and that, you can be wildly successful. But we're going to take it a step further. We're not just going to give you the plan on how to do that. We're actually going to hold you accountable to this plan. Remember those 3 coaching sessions? We are going to call you out because you are bringing us in that capacity. I do coaching sessions with some of the traders, and look, it's designed to help you get better. And the only way that we get better is we figure out what we're doing wrong, what do we need to fix. So that is the missing link, and that is what is built into this program. So, um, pillar 7. Let's go on to pillar 7. Pillar 7 is learning what you need to learn, right? There may be things that go into your trade plan. And you're like, I'm not really too comfortable with market structure. I need to learn that better. Great, we got you covered. We have an entire academy built out for all things foundations. And that could be volume, that can be order flow, that can be, momentum and divergence, support resistance, supply and demand concepts, market structure. These are all foundations. And every trader needs to know these things. These are things that every trader needs to know, regardless of what you trade. There's just certain things, multi-time frame, all of that goes together. So we need to learn that. So if there's things that you haven't learned yet, great. We're going to give you an entire academy that's going to give you exactly what you need to learn. It's going to give you beginner foundations, intermediate, advanced execution, and it's for all asset classes. So there's actually, if you're like, well, I want to learn more about swing trading stocks, cool. We got you covered. Everything's in there. Risk management, professional workflows, everything's built into it. So education, it's not like, oh, you need to watch 100 hours of video. No, you're going to learn what you need to learn. And that's going to be based on your education path. Remember that assessment that we did. So that's built into this as well. So to sum this up, and I've kind of gone through this pretty quick, and that's fine, and we can answer questions as we go as well. But what does this do for you? We've talked about the 7 pillars. We've talked about trying it on your own. What this is designed to do is reclaim your trading business. So put you back on, you're back in the driver's seat. You're not a victim of the market anymore. You are a technician of the market. You are no longer going in, getting chopped to pieces and then going home with your tail between your legs. You're coming into the market as a technician. You're extracting profits from the market and you're repeating. That's the idea. No more random system buying. You don't have to. Everything's included. No more, well, which system do I run and when? And when does this system need to be optimized again? And how do I optimize this? And what parameters should I test? And how far should I go? And is it better to run this on a 1-minute chart or a 5-minute chart or a Heikin-Ashi or a range bar or a Renko bar? And what size Renko bar? And should I use multi-time frame analysis? And you get the idea, right? No more confusion over what to run and when, because we're going to tell you exactly what we're running and where and when. We're going to optimize everything for you. You never have to optimize another algo again. You're never going to have another disconnected software process that you're running the wrong system at the wrong time. There's no more emotional interference because we're going to hold you accountable to that. You run the system, you let it make you money, and you go about your day. No more weak portfolio structures. No more weak, I can't guarantee performance, but look, we're going to guide you toward getting the performance that you desire. And so imagine that you come into this program and you fill out an assessment and you go to the next stage and you go into coaching calls. And meanwhile, you show up in the trade room. So this is what this looks like. You have every algo that you need. You come into the trade room and the instructor says, go long on this algo at this time, and you extract a little profit from the market, and then you go into your coaching session, and the coach helps you understand how to retain those profits and not how to interfere with that process, understand what do you need to learn, how do you need to get better. And then we have a weekly group class that meets once a week to go over algo strategy and optimization, what that looks like. And all you need to do is show up in the trade room, turn the system on when you need to turn it on, turn it off when you're supposed to turn it off, and then don't get in your own way. That's it. That's all you need to do. How many of you that sounds like exactly what you're looking for? I show up, I turn the algo on and off, I make money, I come back the next day and do it again. And I never have to buy another system, and I never have to optimize another system because every time I come to the trade room, they already have those templates ready to go for me. How many of you that's what you're looking for? Give me a yes in the chat box if that's you. How many of you are excited about that possibility? How many of you are like, this is exactly what I've been looking for years? And that's exactly why we built this program. And it's not built on some theory, it's built on the coaching process is everything that helped us become successful traders. That's exactly how this is built. So no more scattered systems, no more buying systems. You've got everything you need. So the question now, it's okay. Andrea's saying, if that actually worked, I'd be overjoyed. I've heard promises before. I'm sorry to be so blunt. And no, you are allowed to be blunt. Look, we're all traders here. And we've all bought stuff that we were, I'm not so thrilled about that one, right? We've all spent money that we wish we could have back. We've all spent time that we wish we could have back. And I totally get it. And you're absolutely right to push back on that. Here's my suggestion to you. Don't let what happened before rob you of the success that you deserve as a trader. Okay. It's the same thing that I say to my traders who have lost a lot of money in trading. And we go into coaching sessions. And the problem is, if you're a trader who's lost a lot of money, maybe that's you. So I totally understand that. So this trader's saying, yeah, I have lost a lot of money. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to bounce back from because it's no longer just here's this plan, run this, and your wildest dreams will come true. It's not that easy. There's a psychological, I guess the best way to say it is not the best way to say it, but it's a psychological issue that holds us back from success because our goal, either subconsciously or consciously, is to make that money back, right? The problem is that money's gone. We have to acknowledge that the money's gone. We can't get it back. What we can do is we can take the money, the resources, what we have today to make money today. And that is our focus. If we can focus on making money today, then that gets us to tomorrow. And then tomorrow we focus on making money tomorrow. And then the next day we focus on making money the next day. So part of it goes toward forgiving ourselves for losing the money. And the next part is letting go of it. Because as long as we're holding on to that, it robs us of success in the future. So that is key. And that could be money lost to the market. It could be money lost to spending money on tools and stuff. But here's the thing. It's really interesting how this works though too, is how many of you have ever seen, like, you look at situations and you think, man, this really is terrible. I don't know how this could possibly, benefit me in the long run. But somehow these situations that we've gone through, and this could be in trading or any aspect of life, we go through difficult situations, and somehow those difficult situations, when you put them all together, you go, oh, I get why this happened and that happened. And it's like, it goes from things that happened to you, that things happened to help create a path and a future for you. And sometimes it's hard to see that when you're stuck in the middle of the whirlwind, you're in the middle of the tornado and you're getting tossed around. It's tough to see that. And so the whole goal of this is, again, don't let what's happened before rob you of the future that you deserve. And so, will it work for you? We're going to take a look at that in a minute here. But the whole idea of this is, what happens if we don't do anything, right? If you're not in a position where you are extracting profits from the market and getting paid, we know we have to do something. Something has to give, right? Might be this, might be something different, right? Might not be this. Most of you are thinking, I absolutely want to do this. But how do we get you to where you need to go, right? Where are you going to be if you do nothing? You're going to be in the same spot. Odds are blowing more accounts, failing evals, blowing up more payout accounts, whatever the case, maybe buying more stuff, maybe buying more education, buying new strategies, losing more time, missing opportunities. Time is money. Time is finite, but money isn't. For those that have lost money, money is not a finite resource. You can always go make more, and you will make more. But we have to do something different than what we're already doing. So there's a lot of inclusions. Bottom line, if you were to go out and pay all this, we could put numbers here and say, well, this is worth $83,000 or whatever it is. 78 apparently. We could put these numbers on a page, but if you start looking at breaking down what traders are actually paying for this stuff with other companies, it's a lot of money. So I don't need to tell you that. You already know that because odds are you've already spent that. Here's our commitment to you. We've talked a big game, right? We've talked about how we help traders become successful in this program. And we've talked about our team that is behind the scenes, optimizing everything, running a trade room, afternoon classes, all these things that go into this. Here's our commitment to you so that you know that we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. I don't know if that's the best statement here, but you get the idea. So, what we're saying to our traders who join this program, if you show up and you're willing to complete the assessment, go through the coaching, you follow the roadmap, you participate, you're going to the classes or watching the recordings at the least, and you are following the process. If you do that, we're telling you you're going to be successful. To what extent, we can't obviously make any guarantees on anything, but what we can say to you is if you do this and you show up and you're committed to it, we're committed to you. If you get into this program and you're going through that and, you know, 90 days in or something, and you're like, this is really just not it for me, we'll literally give you your money back. So there's no risk to you in that sense. The risk is not doing something, right? So that's where we're at. That's what this program is. And so that's our commitment to you. So how do we know you're going to be successful? Because other traders are being successful. And if you do the same thing they're doing, you're going to find that success because we're going to help keep you accountable to that success as well. And bottom line, pro quant trading business is not built by accident. It's deliberate. It's built through structure, accountability, implementation, deployment, strategy, all of the above. So let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a poll here. And on this poll, it's just going to ask you, do you want to schedule a call with our team? Now, before you answer, I'm going to challenge you on this. If it's this program and this is absolutely the right fit for you, great. We're going to help you get started. If it's not the right fit, we're going to help you discover that as well. Most of you, this is exactly what you're looking for. That's why you came to this webinar. Some of you, it might not be the right timing. There might be something else that, is going to suit you better right now. Whatever the case might be, here's our commitment to you is that if you book time with us, we're going to help you figure out exactly, where it's going to make sense for you to get involved right now. Okay. So that's our commitment to you. So with that said, go ahead and answer the poll. If you want to get help, put yes and put your phone number in there. Schedule a call with our team. It's not like, we're not going to hold your feet to the flame or anything like that. We're going to help understand where you're at and what's going to help work for you. Okay. So go ahead and do that. I'll answer some questions while we're at it. I hear you, Joseph. Here's my encouragement to you. Joseph saying I've spent it all, If you're not ready for this yet, that's okay. There is a cost for the program. Obviously, we have a team we got to pay them for staff and all that. So we're all on the same page there. Obviously, you know that. We do have opportunities for you to get involved that are free of cost. So if you're just in a position where you're like, I just have zero money, I get it. While you're working on, getting the money together for this, you can come in and join us in our tradecraft sessions. We do those every week, Fridays. It's at 10 a.m. So we're going to be there tomorrow. Join us for that. It's completely free. All you got to do is show up. So, at the least you can get involved with the community, and then when you're ready to do one of the programs or something, then come on over and join us. George is asking a great question. Is there another option if you're not satisfied? Like, what if I want to switch to the Alpha Trading Syndicate? So we have two programs. One of them is the Alpha Quant Syndicate, which is focused on algo trading, and the other is the Alpha Trading Syndicate, which is based on discretional trading and trading with multiple systems in that way. So yeah, absolutely. If you're like, this is not quite what I'm looking for, can we switch you to Alpha Trading Syndicate? Absolutely, absolutely, we can. Does AQS work for equities as well as futures? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can use these concepts in equities as well. So now I will say this, we are focused on specifically the futures markets. Most of our traders are trading ES and NQ, so they're trading the equities indices. So absolutely you can use it that way. But if you're like, really want to trade this on equities, stocks itself, you could. Just bearing in mind that we're typically not focused on optimizing on those. So we would have to give you some guidance on, the right process and kind of walk you through some of that. But it is possible. Absolutely. So hopefully that helps answer your question. So good deal. Cool. So the poll is there. Let us know how we can help you. What other questions you guys have? What else can I answer for you? I don't have any info on that, Greg. Unfortunately, just reach out to support. That's the best I can say. There is. So, George, yes, there is a different George, but yes, there is possibility for that. Um, yeah, Joseph, absolutely. Yeah, we can work with you on that for sure. Yep. Cost, it depends. That's kind of a vague answer, but some of our traders have spent a lot of money on algos, and so there's different opportunities for us to, help you work with you on that. So, um, yeah. So as far as that, every cost is going to vary from one trader to the next. So my encouragement to you is if you're really just looking to know kind of that, that range or whatever, what it looks like for you, just reach out to our team and we can give you that. That's fine. Yeah, I hear you, Andrea. All good. Completely understand. We are not going anywhere. So, if you've got other things cooking right now, we're going to be here. And my encouragement to you is if you are trading, definitely get involved. And if you're not trading right now, then you're not trading. But if you've never traded, I would suggest it would be great to join a program like this versus learning a bunch of stuff you're not going to use, right? It's better to have that foundation coming into trading. So if you're serious about getting involved and making this a priority, then absolutely this will work for you. But just bearing in mind that there is going to be some work involved and there's going to be a bigger learning curve if you're new to trading. So what's the blended win rate? Let me look. Let me take a look. I can tell you. Bear with me one second. Let me go here. I'll pull it up. I normally would know this off the top of my head, but I actually just got back from a week away, and today's my first day back. So, okay. So far we have an 80% blended win rate for the trades in the trade room. Yeah, I can share the trade log. That's fine. Yeah, you're welcome to look at it. You won't be able to edit it, obviously, but you'll be able to see it if you go to the trade tracker. So this is everything that we've traded so far. It's a newer system. It just launched this here. And the algos are not new, the concepts are not new, that just the tracker's new. So, but 80% so far. And if you click on, I'll show you this. If you click on trade picks, you can actually go in and see all of the trades. We take images of all of them as well. So you can see there's a trade there and another trade there. There's another win. There's a quick win and then back to break even. So they're all in here. You can go through and look at all of them. Very cool. Risk reward is going to vary based on the system. So if we look here, kind of zoom into this so you guys can see a little better. So if we look at this system, for example, we can see actually where the stop and target is, which is a cool thing about algos. So if you look at it here, there was a ultimate target was here, quick profit was there. It looks like it's about a 0.5, and then ultimately looks like they just exited the full position there maybe. But then I'm seeing something else here, so I'm not sure. They looks like they trailed the stop on that one. This one, there it is, and then there's the stop, there's the target. So this one looks like it's maybe a 0.5 or 0.6 and then a 1-to-1. So, but every system's different. Some have smaller risk to reward objectives, some of them have larger. The good thing is though, with 80% win rate, you've got some level of forgiveness on that. They don't track risk reward on a per trade basis. No. Our traders do. We have a system that we've built out. It's actually really cool. It's coming soon. It's a complete coaching portal, and it's killer. I don't know if you guys want to see it. I'll pull it up. Let me pull it up on the other screen here because I got to log in. But it is really cool. So actually, I'm going to pull it up because I think you guys will really love it. Yeah, Andrea, join us tomorrow. And this goes to everybody, whether you're joining the program or not. Come out tomorrow, Tradecraft. We cover a lot of different things. So it's not just, stuff that we're covering in these programs. Some of it will be, obviously, but we cover risk management, trader psychology, we cover foundations, we cover strategy. It's great. We have a really good time in there. So come and join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay, let me pull up the coaching portal. So you guys are going to love this. It is killer, if I do say so myself. And if you haven't already figured it out, I'm the one that built it. So maybe I'm a bit biased. I'll preview. Here we go. Opening. Cool. There we go. Cool. So here it is. So this is what the trader view looks like. So you would see your P&L and win rate, win loss, all that stuff. But you can go in and you log your trades. When you log your trades, you'll be able to put, what time, what instrument, what direction, win, loss. Did you follow your plan? Yes or no? And then you paste the screenshot and you save the trade. And so you can go into your trades at any time and go, I want to see that trade. Cool. There it is. So this is my trades. Put this in there to test the system. And yeah, so you can go in and look at any of your trades anytime. And these get submitted to your coach so that the coach can go in and actually review these trades. You notice some have not been reviewed yet. All of these trades have been reviewed. And what the instructor is going to do is they're going to give you an execution score based on each trade. So if I click on, let's just go to this one. Here's what I put in as a trader, and then the coach, it's refreshing. I don't know what's going on. Let's go back here. This is not fully up and running yet, so that's the team is building it out officially now. But yeah, so let's go back to the dashboard. So on each trade, you can see the equity curve, which is great, but you also have an execution score. So the execution score is going to be based on several factors. Did you enter at the right spot? Did you exit at the right spot? Did you follow your risk management on that trade? And they give you a score, and then you can see, are you getting better? How are you doing on that? And then you also have profit factor trends. You have any tasks that are assigned to you, notifications, coaching notes. Everything is done through this coaching portal, which is really cool. So this is coming very soon. Also, risk per trade. Imagine going, here's what I want to make. Here's how many trades I take. Okay, here's how much you should risk per trade. Now, obviously, you have to make that decision yourself, um, but it does it all for you. Everything is designed to make this easy. You've got timelines. What do you need to do and when and where are you at in the process? And you have tasks. It's really cool. So this is coming soon. So there's nothing else like this in anything that I've seen for trader coaching. So pretty exciting stuff. So good deal. Let's see. Yeah, the Tradecraft, it's not the webinars. Well, maybe there's a link to join it though. Let me look. Let's go to Tickblaze webinars. Yeah, there you go. You just go to register. Tomorrow's is right here. So that's where you can go to register. We actually do have a page in here as well. If you go to resources, Tradecraft, you can join this way too, and then you can click here to watch the replays, and all the replays are in here. It's totally free. This is just my way of giving back to the trading community as a whole. I enjoy it. I love watching traders succeed, and so this is something that's important to me. So that's why I actually run these classes. So cool deal. Risk reward is, yeah, like I say, it's not tracked on an individual trade basis. We might at some point, but right now it's just wins and losses. And then you can go in and see all the trades. Let's see. Richard, that's great. I love it. You cracked me up. No, Richard's asking, do you trade one to one or just enough to show profitable so that the trade log looks better? Go in and look at the trades. You'll see them all. It's fair. I get it because look, we've all traded long enough to see some shenanigans out there. So, you're not going to hurt my feelings by asking the tough questions, but no, the trades are profitable. Um, yeah, we have a lot of traders, and it's not just about us, right? It's great that we can show nice win rates and all that. That's all wonderful. It's daisies and roses and all that good stuff. The the key is what are the traders doing in the program? And that's what gets me excited because we're seeing 80% win rates for our traders. And, risk reward, we're going to be able to tell you exactly what they're doing in this coaching portal. We'll be able to pull it up and see what are all the traders doing. And it won't just be wins and losses, which is great. So that's another reason that we built the coaching portal so we could see better details on the numbers, which is important. So, but yes, the programs are this and the Alpha Trading Syndicate, they're very successful. So, we don't have that currently, Richard, but it's a fair request, and it's something that we've done before, to where we see like a recording of a past room or something. We don't have one yet, but we'll work on putting one together. I don't know time frames on that, but yeah, we can do something like that. That's fine. Good stuff. Yeah, good. You guys have been great. Thanks for asking great questions. And we're all in it to get answers to the questions that we need answers to. So I'm happy to address anything that you need. Like I say, trading's tough, and having some extra help in it. I have yet to hear a trader tell me, "Hey, I'm a successful trader. I've done it completely on my own, and I've never gotten help from anybody." It's just not possible. So if we can help you, whether it's this program or whatever we can do to help you, we have the answers, and we've been very successful in trading, and we're very fortunate in that way. So we are excited to get involved and help you get to the next level. So Pete's posted the link. If you want to go in and just go ahead and book your call now, just go to this link. This has all the information of what we covered, and then just click schedule my session, and you'll be good to go. Those of you that answered the poll and requested some contact from our team, Jason's going to reach out to you and schedule with you and answer any questions you have. So be on the lookout for a call or an email, and we'll get you set up. So good stuff. Any last questions before we call it? Good to go. You guys got what you need. Tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We'll be here. We'll be covering some more great trading stuff and have a good time. And if you can't catch it live, of course, we'll record the event and we'll get it over to you as well. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. If we can do anything else for you, reach out anytime. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day and we'll catch up with you more tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Cheers.